Hello everyone, I'm Psychotic, and that's also my screen name. We are back with episode 16 of our Let's Play. We are going to try to automate a little bit of money making today, so let's see how that's going to go. So we'll get ready and go ahead and load into our game. I ask if you learn anything useful, if you have a good time, please don't be afraid to drop a like. If you're feeling friendly, maybe go ahead and subscribe. But without further ado, we will get into this. Alrighty, here we are. So I did finish crafting up some wooden vials. We made 460 of them. And we went ahead and made a couple of shoes. I grabbed our feathers. Now, I did kind of screw up with the flaxseed. I forgot to hold back the 110 that I want to keep for replanting. How many do we still have in here? So let's... Okay, so we're going to put 110 back in here. That's my bad. Also, I noticed that there's a recipe in here to help us get rid of some of that pesky straw that we had going on. Or is it a handcraft? It's not a handcraft. It should have been in here. Am I just crazy? Oh, hats. There we go. So under the straw hat, there's two different ones in here that we can make. There's the straw hat and the flat straw hat. So if we look in our recipes, under technology, sorry. If we look under our recipes for the initial shed sewing hut, so our flat straw hat is going to give us 130. And our straw hat is going to give us 120. So if we look at what's required to make them, one is 20 straw and 1 linen fabric, and one is 30 straw and 1 linen fabric. So the flat straw hat, even though it gives us 10 more, is actually less efficient than this one because of the extra straw increase. 10 for 10. I'm pretty sure we can get more than one apiece for straw. I might have just lied to you. Let me go check. If we can't get one apiece for straw, then it's actually going to be more efficient to do the flat one. So let's see what we've got in here for straw. Okay, no, it is more efficient to do the flat hat. To use the extra 10 straw to get the extra 10 coins, because one straw is only worth 0.2. So 10 of those would be 2 coins total. So we're actually making more by doing the flat straw hat. Now I don't know if we have enough time. It's going to be tight. We're going to try to get to town and sell goods. I don't know that we're going to make it. I think we're going to run into the same problem that we did last episode. We might run into a different problem than we did last episode, because I think we already cleaned these guys out in summer, and we have to wait for the season to change for them to get their money back. But I'm not entirely sure, so we're going to go find out. It might have been spring that we bought that stuff from them. So I did do a little bit of research into our extraction for our wood sheds. So we've got one that's entirely on logs now. And with the firewood, if we just look at our general management tab here, so we're using 127.3 per day. A log gives you 10. A stick gives you 1. Planks give you 5. And since one log cuts into 2 planks, then that's equal to a log. Firewood gives you 5. But one log makes 4. So you can turn one log, which is 10 wood, into 20 wood by making firewood out of it. So if we look at this and we call it 140, then we know that we need 7 firewood crafts per day just to keep it even. Now bear in mind that this is summer. So summer actually only uses 50% of your wood usage. So in spring and fall, you use 100%. In summer, you use 50%, and in winter, you use 150%. So we actually need to double this to get it to where it should be. So if we would take 127.3 times 2, we need 254.6, 255 we'll say, per day, year-round to break even. Now, the problem that we're going to run into, we're going to have to make a little bit of firewood ourselves, because if we set that now, summer is just about over, which means we're going to not have enough to make it all the way through winter. So if we set it that 255, or in our case, because it goes in 20, is 260, and we let it go year-round, it'll be fine, because the firewood that we save in the summer, they will use in the winter, so it all evens out. Because we're not starting at the beginning of summer, this is going to be a problem, and we're going to have to make a handful of extra ourselves to set it up. But we're going to automate so that we don't have to worry about it until we get more people. So we're going to come over here, and we know that we need 260. So 260 divided by 20 means that we need 13 crafts of firewood. So we're going to bring our sticks back quite a ways. So let's see, we need 13 crafts of firewood, which means that we need 13 logs coming out of here. And then we can put the rest into sticks. Now we're going to have to adjust that anytime that we get more people, but for now, our firewood's good. As soon as we get 127, well, we'll do 140 firewood added for winter. After that, it'll take care of itself. We won't have to do it ourselves at all. I always try to stop at that house for him. I don't know why. Are you broke? Yep, you're broke. Okay. So this whole trip over here was a bit of a waste, but that's alright. We'll get our firewood in order. So 140 is going to be 7 logs. And that should be easy enough. We probably have 7 logs in storage. We can just craft it right there in the storage and not worry about it. But we're working today on trying to automate as much stuff as we can for both money making and so we don't have to maintain anything. We want all of the nitty-gritty day-to-day to be handled for us so that we are free to do other things that are either A, more fun, or B, more useful to the village, like building houses and recruiting more people. Well, what do you need? Is it something that we can get in time?
Hello.
Oh, the baby has a fever. Okay. Yeah, I'll get medicine for him. What's he need? From an herbalist. And the herbalist is where? Way up there. Okay, well, at least it says that we have 2 seasons to do it, so we can do it next season. It's not going to be an issue. So let's carry on with what we were looking at. We need 7 logs. We're going to make firewood out of them. Alright. Now, I did move our piggies as well, so we can get rid of all of this. And put our herbalism shack here. There we go. So now we can go to buildings and extraction, I believe it was. Yes. Herbalism. So now we can actually make it even with this. We want to get it as close to true west as we can. Okay. Get it even up with this guy. And slide it over until it lets us place it. Right there. Alright. We're in good shape there. So I don't know if our shed will allow us to harvest plants as well, or if it's just a place to make the concoctions out of them. I haven't experimented with that, so we're going to learn together on that one. 16's not going to go very far. I always forget that the sticks are kind of difficult to get. So once you start hacking down trees and using logs for more stuff than sticks, you kind of forget that sticks are a pain in the ass to get. I mean, the ones in the ground are only 1 apiece. Oh, nightshade. That'll help. Oh, those are more berries. We could always sell the berries, but they're really not worth that much money. Back in the day, in the pre-release version of this, stripping berry bushes in the very beginning used to be a great way to make money. That is not really true anymore. Do over here. Whoop. So if you're walking and you hold down E, you will pick those just fine. If you are sprinting and you hold down E, you will run fast. And I have a tendency to sprint everywhere because I'm impatient, so that's kind of a problem. Really? A shovel or a spear helps you when collecting sticks. I did not know that. Usually I just run around holding E. I'll have to give that a shot. Mostly, though, now at this point, we just got our guy set up at the very beginning of the episode to not really have to worry about sticks anymore. So we finally built our second woodshed. So he's going to be giving us 31 sticks a day. But yeah, in the early game, it's kind of a pain in the arse. Really? So it just bypasses the animation. All right, I gotta check this out. Oh, that's genius! Thank you, sir. That will definitely make it into the cut version. Okay. Oh man, it works with everything. Okay. Okay, yeah. That is a very useful tip, sir. I very much appreciate that. Oh, that's broken. That makes me happy. Night vision. Nightshade. So yeah, we could actually take some of our vials and make some nightshade. We could either use that to poison some arrows, or we can use it to make our vials worth more money than they currently are. Because right now, we're just in a scramble for some cash so that we can get some of the recipes that we are lacking in right now. Okay, there's that. Let's go and grab some nightshade. Grab everything we got. Okay. So let's make some poison. How long's the craft time on these? Oh, that's not bad. So it's only 2 seconds on these. That's not bad at all. Now, I know poisoning the arrows is obviously going to do more damage. I'm a little worried about what that will do to our meat if we hunt that way. Thinking hunting probably don't use them. I don't know how into detail the developers went with that. But at the very least, it'll help us take down bears and things. I think at this point, though, because we're just scrambling for a little bit of coinage to get those recipes that we're lacking, that we're going to go ahead and go that route for now. We're just going to make the poison and sell it. Yeah, 40 is a lot better than 3. And Nightshade itself is only worth 0.6. So you figure 5 of that, you're looking at another 3, so that's 6. So we made significant additional money by turning that into poison. I'm going to put... I don't know. I have mixed feelings on this tree right here. I kind of left these trees for looks, and I don't know if I want to leave them for looks or if I just want to tear them down to give us a clear shot at the field. I know eventually we're going to be moving into this corner house, and we're going to move our farmers into this house. And then we will use the house that we're currently living in as the overflow house. but we need to get some people situated before that. Do we have anybody in the overflow house right now? Because if I recruit people, we do. So I can't recruit people until we get them out, or we don't have anywhere for them to live. I don't think the other upside to us harvesting this versus them, and I noticed it with our flax this season. Last season, we got over 800 flax, but we harvested the field. This season, we got 600 flax, and they harvested the field. So our points for the additional material from farming apparently does not apply to the villagers. So that's something to keep in mind too. So these little backyard plots that we do ourselves are actually going to be more beneficial because we're going to get that additional farm out of it. I didn't assign him anything yet because we're going to have to... He's going to take a little bit more maintenance than the other guys are. Yeah, I only saved back 50. So we're going to have to use some of that to plant. Because I think if we check out... Whoops. Oh no, is the chest full? Yeah. No. No, the rot was what was heavy. There we go. That was just me being dumb. So if we look over here, if we have them plant the rye... So we do have 150, so that's 100 for here and a 30 in the back. And that gives us enough for the overflow. So we can fix that right now. I feel like the fields are always going to be a little bit more maintenance. And I know that there are people, because fields are so cheap, that they just make additional fields and leave one crop per field. But that's not me. I would rather reuse our resources, honestly. So she'll finish that up. She'll start planting. Okay, and then our oats, we're gonna have him thresh our oats. So let's go to production. We're gonna go on down to our shed. Or not shed, barn. What's the barn under? Hunting, farming? Barn. Okay. So we're gonna have him make animal feed. Well, we'll hold off on the animal feed for the moment. So right now we want him to make fertilizer out of rot. So we know that we're going to need every 4 days, we're going to need at least 100. So we're going to set this to 25. And that's 77% of his workflow. That's not great. And then we just put oats in there, so we're going to run the rest as oats right now, just to let him do his thing. And then we can change this up afterwards. So we want to try to get that as even as we can to be completely automated. Now, if we look at us once we get someone in there, so our order of business really does need to be to sell some stuff off to get those new recipes for making additional money, and then to build another house as soon as possible to get the people out of the overflow house so we can get some more people in here. I really got to do something with these damn pigs. I did move them over here, but I didn't build the fence. Because I try not to build stuff off stream for you guys. So there's Donkey. I named my donkey Donkey, don't ask. I actually had a cat named Cat for a number of years as well. I'm weird. I'm also terrible with names, and it's easier for me to remember what it is as opposed to what it's called. Alright, so let's take what we have to sell. We can buy those recipes, and then we can get cracking on building a house. So I'm not going to worry so much about collecting a bunch of the herbs if we can get somebody to do it for us. That's going to be way more efficient, I think. I'm still working on as much automation as we can. That's the entire goal of today's episode, is getting as much automated as we possibly can. Look at that, we got here right as everybody got up this time. What's up, Dagobert? Buy my junk. You know, it really helps if you bring all of your junk with you. I left most of it in the donkey. Okay, we'll take those. That we're going to leave because we want that. Those we'll take. Take. All of our plates because we're not doing onions anymore, so we need bowls, not plates. And all these wooden vials. So let's sell the vials first because that's what made us overburdened. We can get rid of these plates. Knives. Baskets. How you doing on money there? We're doing alright. We're doing alright. Okay. For shoes. Feathers. And we broke her. Alright, where's your daughter? Let's finish cleaning these guys out. We can come on down here to the feathers. And the flaxseed. And they are cleaned out and we still have flaxseed left. That makes me so happy. So we are now sitting at 5,000 coins again. That is perfect. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to come over here and get the plank fencing. That was a mistake. That sucks. I wanted the regular plank fence. Well, maybe the pigs can't get out of the low fencing. We'll see. We'll see how this works. So that's going to work for our piggies. And then we wanted that hat. The hat from the sewing hut. We wanted the flat straw hat for the extra money. And then simple shoes. No, we want to do the first shoes. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the way that we're going to take this. Okay. Now we could do clay bowls. They would last longer, I'm assuming, than the wood bowls. But we have way more wood than we do clay, so I think we're just going to leave that the way it is. Now, though, we get into the bronze stuff that we really, really, really wanted. So we're going to go for the bronze knife first, and then axe, and then pickaxe. Those are definites. The hoe, the hammer, I suppose, sickle. How much of this can we get before we run out of money? We still have 2 grand left. So let's get everything we can. Let's make it go with this. We could do some bronze arrows. Why not? Bronze shearing scissors, we might need those eventually. I'm not going to worry about the bolt or the spear. We only really use the spear as a backup weapon, so that's not a huge deal. Oh, we can't get down there yet. So I purchased this fur hood thinking that it would be great because it would help us eat through our fur. The problem is it requires wool, and we got no sheep. And we could work on getting sheep, but there are other things that I wanted to focus on first. So what we really need to do is find something in the Sewing Hut 1 that uses fur, and we have the fur shoes. So that's an option. But I was hoping to use that hat to make us more money faster. It's just not going to work the way I had planned. Now from our flax harvest, I did save back a bunch of this linen fabric. When I threshed everything, I spun the flax, and then I went ahead and gathered the fabric as well, specifically to make those hats. I knew that we didn't have enough money for the recipe, but I knew it was something that we were going to make. So that'll help us get rid of our surplus of straw, I think. And at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to head up here for this quest. So we want to go north. This is south. But we're also going to try to clean out their town. Well, I guess there's no way we're going to be able to clean out their town, but we're going to get a little bit more money from them as well. And hopefully see... Oh, that's... I always forget something. Every blasted time. I forgot to see if there was anybody here with any skills we wanted. Looks like they have 3 people, because they reset at the season just like the merchants do. So do you have a 3 in anything? You do, but it's nothing I care about. Same. You! We will hire... We can't hire her, because we don't have a house for her. So let's do that first. Before we go and do the quest and everything, let's get her a house and get her on board. Because that'll help us with our making money from our herbalism hut. I know I have these. So with the pigs, if we have a male and a female, they have a 20% chance every season to get preggers and potentially give us a piglet. Which means, you know, due to the glory of statistics, we have about a 60% chance if we have one male and one female of getting a piglet every year. Because you have 20% chance times 4, so it's going to reduce the chances a little bit there. But so basically every other year or so we should expect to have a piglet. We're going to have to get more water in there. Okay, so let's take some logs. We'll take 16. No, we're going to need more than 16. Let's take... Because that's how I am. Good news is we have sticks, and we have copper, so we can get this quick. Actually, bronze. Let's do bronze hammer, because we can now. So we're going to bronze tools. That's iron tools. Bronze tools. We're going to do a bronze hammer, because that's going to be even more durability. How exciting. Does it look bronzy? Not really. At a glance, I would assume that was iron, but that's alright. We'll take it. We'll have to see what the iron model looks like when we get there. There's the house. So we want to move the family out of the small simple house. I don't know who's in the small simple house. Leonarda and Hunamir. So let's go into our brand new house. We're going to move Leonarda. And yeah, they're not a family yet. I don't know why sometimes they're a family and sometimes they are not. But that's okay. I think we'll save the remainder to get rid of some of that straw. We'll save the remainder of these for either once we've hired somebody to do it for us or for the end of stream. As we don't have anything to thresh at the end of this stream because we planted cabbage. I mean, we could do the oats, but I think I have him on oats, so that's not really a big deal. I also want to buy a recipe for some kind of a container to keep our stuff for that extra field off to the side for us. Linen, leather, and fur are going to go in there, and the excess straw for now. Okay, we'll do that. But I mean, that's still 130 times 13 is a chunk of change. And the sun is going down, so it's not really a good time to sell. Let's see about getting another one of these houses in place ahead of time. This time, instead of it being reactionary, we'll try to be a little bit proactive and see if that doesn't help us a little bit. Because we know we're going to hire at least 2 people. Ideally, we would want to be able to hire 4, just in case we find 4 that are useful enough. Houses, house tier 2. So we're going to point ourselves west. We're going to line this up. Bring it over. What's the issue? It's just further than I expected is all. There we go. It's 14 rocks. I cannot wait to get the market where we don't have to run around everywhere to sell stuff, especially as we start to automate more of this. Oh shit, is the king's person's back. So we're gonna have to swing by the starter village too to talk to him again. I see the little trumpet. Hopefully he doesn't want more money. I mean, we can make it. We've been making significant amounts of money now. We could make 5 grand again, but I would like to use that for bettering ourselves. But I don't want to just ignore it either, because you want the king's happiness. There we go. Alright, so since we have an extra house at the moment, what we're going to do is we're going to move these two people into it. Baldwina and Samoget. So we want Baldwina and Samoget. Samogost. And then down here we want our two farmers. So we're going to move Narwoja and Ronald, I think it was? Roland? Yeah. Okay. Which then frees up this house, and that still keeps them by the field. And then with this house, we're going to move our wife and ourselves. Which is going to make this the new overflow house. Oh, Lech is back. With worse stats. You.
How is life treating you?
So, she's going to go to the herbalism hut because she's a gatherer. And that takes... Why does the herbalist's hut look like it's fishing? Okay, hang on. Well, she does have a 3 in fishing. Okay, good enough, I guess. I don't know why the herbalist... I feel like that's a bug, that the herbalist hut is pulling out of fishing instead of gathering, but I don't know. Sweet, so we just got a free person. Let's see if he's actually worth it. Oh my, yes he is worth it. Oh, he's a great trader. I mean, right now that's not what we're going to use him for, but he's a great trader. So we're going to put you in this house with that gal. Even though you're old, too old to have children, probably. So what can we use you for? What do we really need something for? We've got a hunter coming off of sick leave here soon. We've got a fisher coming off of sick leave soon. We could put him in the sewing hut. That's not a terrible idea. Okay. So let's go to the sewing hut. And we're going to have him make linen thread when available. Linen fabric. I want him to do flat straw hats right now, because he's got material for that for days. So we're going to have him do 50% flat straw hats and 50% for shoes. Okay, we will sell you cherry wine, the cheese, the clay vials. Let's sell you some feathers, let's sell you some straw hats, and you're out of money.
It was nice seeing you.
Yes, yes, nice seeing you. Yes. Yeah, what do you guys have for skills? You have a 3 in production. We will take you. So we're going to put her in a house, because we have one. I don't know that we have anywhere that needs production at the moment, but I suppose she could always double up on something. Like the workshop to give us more production out of there. The smithy, perhaps. Yeah, she's not a very good farmer. The barn uses farming. So let's put her in the workshop. No, let's put her in the smithy.
How are you? My wares never disappoint.
Okay, so she's still got money. She's got all sorts of potions. Look at her go. Okay. So sell the rest of those. Sell the rest of those. Sell the rest of those. And she ran out of money. And we're almost back to 5,000 again. So we still need a male. I think. In housing. Yes. So we still need a male. So let's just head back. So you're a farmer and that's useful. You're a fisher and that's less useful. And you're useless. But you're female. And that is a problem because we need a male. So could we take you and assign you somewhere else? I really don't want to settle though. We're not going to settle. Oh. So, okay. Here's a task for the people. The king is pleased with us. Excellent. What does the king want? He will soon hunt these regions. You make sure that there are no or at least less dangerous animals around? I'll do it. What are we hunting for the king? 25 wolves or bear. And how long do we have? We have 5 seasons to do it. Well, we're going to be aiming for mostly wolves, just saying. Shit. We have bandits. Okay. You are missing your chest, sir. Okay, so his bow went flying. Well, I'm unhappy that we did get hit a couple of times, but at least it was by a guy with a knife and not an arrow this time, so it didn't just off us. Oh, okay. Well, we got some good rewards out of this one. A large pouch. Is that better than our pouch? Nope, that is the same as our pouch. Yeah, I have been so unlucky with bandits. I have no earthly clue how everybody talks about not finding them during their entire playthrough. Stuff that we wanted. There should be 2 more wolves up here too. At least this is where we encountered them last time. I don't know if the spawns shift seasonally by a little bit, or if they just wander, and we've had them wander quite a ways sometimes. But some of the places where I'm expecting 1, there's 2. Sometimes when I'm expecting 2, there's 1 or even none. The one on the stream seems to be pretty consistent. But this zigzag trail up here gave us 2 last time, and I'm not seeing anything this time. Yeah, I think our fence worked. I don't see a bear. Unless he wandered. But no, I think our fence worked. I think he is permanently handled. But we do know that there's a bear at this stream or at this pond right here. So we can go and kill him. Perfect. So there's 5 out of 25. And we had 5 seasons to do that? Is that right? Yeah. So if we do 5 a season, we should be fine. It should work out. Kinda hoping that we can get another wolf on our way down the mountain here. Because anything extra is just gravy. So I need to figure out why some of our people have partnered up and some of them haven't. Some of them are considered a family and some are not. I don't know if they have to be together for a certain amount of time. I don't know what's going on there. Whoops. That might not be where that goes. That's not where that goes. That's where that goes, though. So I think on this note, I'm going to make all this animal feed and fill up the piggy place. And I'm going to thresh what he hasn't of the and probably help her seed. At the very least, do the field back here. And then we'll pick back up tomorrow. So I think we're going to stop here for the night. For the session, just for the crafting times and whatnot involved. So we will pick up tomorrow. We've got plenty of money coming in finally, and we're automating ways to make more. I mean, we're cleaning out entire villages now. This is awesome. So if you've learned anything useful, if you had a good time, please don't be afraid to drop a like. If you're feeling friendly, maybe go ahead and subscribe. But either way, have a fantastic rest of your night, and we will see you next time.